Welcome back to this Let's Play of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. This is episode 60. Just for a bit of perspective, we are most of the way through Nar Shaddaa. I would guess we're probably about 75% of the way through this area. And that's the first of the three major free roam areas. There's another minor free roam area. There's another minor free roam area which I hope has been restored in the content restoration patch. And then there's the whole epilogue of the game, which is again linear. In other words, we are maybe a third of the way through the game. And my last Let's Play of Mask of the Betrayer ended at episode 60. So this is a somewhat longer game. Actually, one of the complaints about the first game was, the first Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, was that it was kind of on the short side. And this game does have quite a bit more content. It's not a lot longer, but it's definitely, Mask of the Betrayer was an expansion, so it's not surprising that it was not quite as long. The metal box here is empty. Normally that would contain the last HK-47 part, but we already have it, so no concerns there. There are a couple other boxes lying around here. You will actually have to do some combat as T3-M4. I have nothing on him except his shock arm, but there's always this droid molten cannon here, which was more than enough to get you through the fights here, unless for some reason you're specifically holding levels on T3-M4. The only reason I would imagine you would do that is for if you can't do his upgrades yet and you want to make sure he gets his intelligence before he gains his levels. At any rate, we talked to this droid here.
I am sorry, but only authorized cargo droids are allowed into the warehouse. I cannot permit you to enter due to the sensitive cargo.
And I love this. The dialogue is, of course, in beeping.
No. In fact, I do not have you on my list of Codin's acquisitions. How did you get in here? I see. Well, I have no current use for you. I'll assign you to C6E3. He needs the help to make up for his inferior programming.
Okay, and you can choose various options here. One is a persuade, one is a persuade/lie, and the other is just deep.
Good. Now report to...
T3-M4 does not have much charisma or persuade skills, so he's not going to succeed with the persuade checks. And there's no actually way to increase it, so...
I certainly hope that rude C7 unit didn't send you over here. Those more recent models have no etiquette programming whatsoever. I think he should be replaced, or shipped down to maintenance to direct droids there. But I cannot seem to convince my masters of the logic of the request. Oh, I wouldn't go that far, despite what others would say. A number designation for a C7 unit means far more than an integer increase. Some droids undergo radical changes with each generation. Each numeric jump in sequence can have wide-ranging changes in functionality and temperament. But then, you are a new model yourself. I wouldn't expect you to understand how it feels. Now, was there something I could help you with? That C7 droid absolutely infuriates me. Needs help to do my job, do I? I would be happy to help you, but as long as that C7 unit is perched at the door, I can't. Well, if the C7 unit were to be disabled, my programming would require me to take over his responsibilities in his absence. Yes, I would be willing to give you access to the next room.
Okay, we have our mission. All of the dialogue there, which I was just jumping through, you have no idea what you're saying. There's only one option each time, and it's always deep, boop, and, woo, and all that stuff. So, if you've listened to enough of T3-M4's dialogue, you can kind of get a sense of the emotions that might be associated with that, but yeah, you don't really have to understand what's going on. You can just listen to his side of the conversation.
Yes, what is it? You can't be serious. I am not in need of the activation. What are you talking about? How dreadful.
Anyway, you can provoke him into a fight. And he's not particularly hard. I'm just using my basic shock arm here.
What's all the commotion? Oh, I see. Well, that will show him. Obsolete piece of junk indeed. Yes, of course. I'll get that open right away.
Alright. So, little,
just a moment.
Rivalry there.
You're welcome.
Again, this game does enjoy having some ridiculous moments. That droid parabolic guides is another good upgrade for a combat droid model. I might actually just hang on to it now that I'm not so desperately short on parts. And so I might give it to HK-47 in case I actually end up using HK-47. That droid by the thing in the corner there does not have anything useful to add. He more or less tells you he won't help you. But we recognize these two. This is B4D4 and T1N1. These are the guys we were messing around with Zerka on Telos. They said they were going to smuggle themselves to Nar Shaddaa, and, well, here they are.
This area is restricted. Please return to your designated area. Please excuse my companion. He is easily excitable and takes our duty very seriously. In the hopes of avoiding an incident, I ask you to please return to your post.
And T3-M4 never interacted with these guys, so he doesn't. This is sort of out of character knowledge that we know who these are.
Door? I'm sorry. I don't believe I know what you are referring to. You must be mistaken. There is nothing of the sort. Now please, move along. Lying to you? But that would go against my programming. Please, as I said, you should return to your post.
And they exchange obscenities with each other, I guess.
Now, T1N1. He is right about your size. Being touchy about it won't change anything.
Yeah, maybe this is best left
Really?
untranslated.
You're much too sensitive about these things.
Yeah, I don't even want to know what that
Oh
is.
my, this is what I was afraid of. You have made him angry.
And he goes hostile. More droid combat. And again,
I
just
don't
your
know
basic
why
shocker.
my companion. He has always been excitable, but recently he's been like this. There was nothing I could do to stop him, and if I tried to leave, he would threaten me. Now I am free, thanks to you.
Okay, second time we've liberated B4D4. And we now have access to this door. We're going to have to get through the controls here. This is a puzzle. More or less you have 3 rotations in order to get everything to line up correctly. And it's not super hard, but I'm going to just look at my notes briefly. And it's center counter, left counter, right clock. And we go in.
Oh my, you startled me. What are you doing here? I monitor the transponder codes of all ships leaving the docks, then transmit departure information for any of Vaga the Hutt's freighters. The information is sent to a remote computer system. Oh, I see. In that case, I will upload the transponder codes to you. And here's the blank transponder card you need. You're welcome. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must go back to monitoring the traffic. It is important that relevant departure information is relayed as quickly as possible.
Okay, and that's what we needed. Specifically, we also wanted that to help out with changing the signature of the Ebon Hawk. And there's another quest I actually forgot to hand in earlier to do there. So we just drive our way out. And there are a bunch of HK50 droids here, so I'm going to have to off-screen set T3-M4 up for an actual fight. Unfortunately, I sold off all the armor I had for droids, so I've equipped him with just some basic pieces of equipment that I had lying around. The main thing that's important is to use one of these droid shields. Like the fights I was doing with Mira earlier, the way I'm going to get through this, more or less, is just by spamming shields and just slowly whittling them down.
Who are you? You're not supposed to be here.
Confidence statement. You have the list of Voga's launch codes. You will give these to us now, or else we will be forced to take drastic action. Surprised statement. You are foolish to think we will allow you to take that information back to your master. Amused query. I think you will find the odds are somewhat in our favor. Now, will you be giving us the codes, or not? Incredulous statement. Then we will have to take them from you, which I assure you was our preference to begin with.
Okay, now we have shields up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to back up here a little bit and let them sort of come one at a time, rather than trying to fight all three at the same time.
Systems failing, Master.
And I'll just refresh my shield there. You can't actually build droid shields, which is part of what makes droids less useful than just other party members.
Systems failing, Master.
But, oh well.
Systems failing, Master.
Okay. And they give you another HK droid chassis, which we already had. Normally you wouldn't be able to construct HK-47 until after finishing this area, but now you do. I forget it was in that canister or if it was always just on that particular droid. But that gives us a second set of these droids that we fought. And I hope I didn't screw anything up by fighting the ones on Telos out of order.
Wait! Where are you going? You are not authorized to leave the warehouse.
Yeah, we are authorized to end this episode, though.